Hey everyone, just going to do a bit of a video. V6 fuel economy, pretty cruisy run today, 80k, 100k zones. One of the regular runs we do. If you check the fuel economy playlist, you'll be able to see what the diesels get. I've got the 8x5 trailer single axle. It's going to have one engine in it, so nothing too heavy, but a little bit of towing, and we'll see what it does to the fuel economy on the second refill. At the moment, the first fill was 13.7 litres per 100 k's, no towing. Recently been talking about the V6 and how it's got heaps more power than the diesel, so increasing speed is definitely much swifter, but there's a cost to that, and that's where it uses the fuel, because power uses fuel, but it's notably down on torque, so it maintains the speed. It's working a little bit harder than the diesel. There's a lot more revs required to do almost the same job, but not quite the same job, because you can't replace torque with power. But anyway, let's get out on the 100 zone and have a look at some of the activity on this speed reduction. You know, normally I drive pretty sedately like this in all the vehicles, but you got to give it a blowout every now and then, and it's at full operating temp, so let's go for it. And you can clearly see the power. So we're at cruising altitude. Speed set on a genuine 110 in 110 zone, and we're going to come up to a few hills soon, and we'll just see how the V6 reacts to that. Whoa, and there it is, right? Come to a slight hill, it just doesn't have the torque, it's a bit slow to react, and then it gets into it aggressively, gets back to speed using the power, choose the fuel, changes up gears again. See what it does this time. So then change it up in gears, bit of a slight uphill. It's doing not bad there, actually. That's pretty good. What's that, fourth? Might be converter lock. Once it settled, it went up that hill all right. I don't know if it was in probably fourth, maybe converter not locked. Slight flat here, we're about to come to a hill. V6, what are you going to do? Is it going to lose speed? And then, there it is, back to fourth. And it's not really pulling it up in fourth like the diesel does, but it's going to get the job done, I think. Yep, there it is. So it didn't go back to third that time, so that's good. Not too bad. It's just an 8x5 trailer, basically empty. So we're talking about the package at the moment would weigh about the same as our diesel 120 without the trailer, right? So, because that's heavy. This is stock standard, this 120 V6. Cruising along. Another slight hill. It's only a slight hill where the diesel wouldn't normally even unlock fifth. We're back to fourth, so we're chewing a bit of fuel every time we get to a slight hill, but we're cruising at the moment back on flat ground. Seems pretty economical, stock standard with a light trailer. We'll get an engine on there and we'll see what happens. Mate, sorry about the bumps. Just do the best you can. Anyway, all good, right? So next hill, back to fourth. The diesel, I mean, look, what I'll do at the next hill after this, I'll take it off cruise control. This is actually doing not too bad, yep, that's good. We've got cars in front of us going slow though, because everyone else has got a slow car. Alright, this vehicle, it's set up for towing, so it's got pretty firm suspension, tight valving and firm springs. It's not a rough ride, but it's the feel every undulation in the road kind of ride, firm ride, so it's not feel every bump, bing, 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 annoying, but it's, you do feel every undulation because it's very tight, which is what we want, towing control, which is of course a balanced approach also. If you want to see different perspective on this fuel economy run, what you could do is check out the playlist Fuel Economy. We've got a lot of different videos in there on some different cars. And this is one of the usual runs we do, if you like. Normally, we might be going a little bit faster in the diesel, so this has got the advantage again, stock standard, light, no modifications, and we're going a little bit slower, maximum 110 on this run. So we're not going to catch it in this video, but there's quite a brisk tailwind. We've got a massive direct tailwind, just went past the wind socket, it was standing up. Looking at the gum trees now, it seems to be blowing a gale tailwind. So this is still kicking down and that at the hills more aggressively than the diesel normally would on a day that's not windy. So as a comparison, there seems to be plenty of evidence that the diesel torque certainly helps, even what seems like a small amount, helps a lot with maintaining speed when towing. Now, of course, you can use the power to maintain the speed. It's just a lot of revving going on, and you're going to use the fuel. So just considerations for your vehicle choice, that's all. Doesn't bother me, it's all good. I won't be filling up in this video. The trip meet accidentally got reset at 430 Ks. So just got to remember to add that together, and the tanks will come out once I'm running it down a bit at the moment. Tanks will come out. I've got the parts there to fix that fuel gauge problem that happens in the petrol versions. You got to remove both the tanks, replace the sender units. While you're at it, maybe just change the fuel pump. I'm just going to go for the whole assembly. Then it's all good. It's all new, good for another, well, up to 17 years, maybe, hopefully longer. So on this run up the highway to Bendigo, on most of the flat roads, undulating, seems to be holding speed pretty well. Sometimes it unlocks the torque converter in fifth, not unlike the 120, although because we've got this massive tailwind today, the 120 wouldn't have done that. It was more of a video to show you how aggressive the V6 can be, but it hasn't been that aggressive today since we've got the big tailwind. So just a quick video to show you the drive cruising in the 120 with a little 8x5 box trailer, single axle, empty at the moment. I don't think we'll waste any further time on this. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. If you liked it, hit the like button. There's a playlist on the V6 information, all the work we're doing to increase its reliability and efficiency, etc. And hopefully it can last forever. Look at the wind on those trees, out of control. Really windy. This is actually a pretty good example of how the V6 behaves. So it's a flat highway, headed back to Melbourne, called a highway. Flat ground, slightly downhill. See, it's converter lock in fifth now. Okay, I've got a 8x5 box trailer still, single axle, weighs about 200, touch over 200 kilos. Other than that, a stock standard Prado. And every time when we're downhill, like now, slightly downhill, no worry. As soon as it flattens off, it's about to flatten off like now, or the slightest undulation uphill, first thing we get is converter unlock in fifth, and then back to fourth. It just seems bizarre. An engine with so much power and so much cubic capacity, a 4 litre, needing to make any gear selection changes or need more RPM. But obviously, like I said, the torque, which is only at a peak torque at certain RPMs, which is much higher than this. There it is, flat ground, right? I just show them. Right, it's just flat ground highway, right? Thank you. And you can see torque converter slip at the moment. And as soon as it gets a little bit steeper, there it is, back to fourth, constantly changing up and down over the last 10 to 20 minutes, I've noticed, which is a much better example than the start of the video, because like I said, we had the tailwind, which was really pushing us along nicely, quite a steady tailwind, and now you can see it's just staying back in fourth, converter lock. We've got the slightest uphill. It's like not much at all. As soon as there's a bit more of a hill, it's back to third. It's up to 4,000 RPM almost to maintain speed. So working quite hard. We're going slightly on a downhill run now. So it's back to converter lock fifth. That's what you want. Anyway, not bagging at the V6. It's just very different to the 120 diesel. And of course, just understand the two different engine types, so you can pick your preference, which one's for you. It doesn't bother me. Thanks for watching the videos. Catch you soon.